Hello! It's Christmas time and we are in our Christmas series. So the next in our series is the Plum Christmas cake. Of course, what is Christmas without the plum cake? Our table is all ready to host the Christmas dinner. And are you ready? Let's get started. So we're going to start with our Christmas cake recipe. This is the plums, the dried fruits and nuts that I had soaked a month before in rum. I will give you the detailed ingredient list in the description. As you can see, there are loads of nuts like cashews, walnuts, almonds. There's raisins, black raisins, plums, dates, cranberries, some apricots, dried apricots. So we've soaked everything in the rum. You know, if you take enough rum to soak it in a jar, use a glass jar preferably, and soak it for as long as you want. You can soak it for 6 months as well. I have soaked it over a month, and if you can see, they're nice and juicy and they're all absorbed all the rum. Okay, this one is the non-alcoholic version. So I've used orange juice. I've used a canned orange juice for this, and it's got orange peels and the same nuts and raisins and all kinds of fruits, dried fruits. Again, you know, the list of the ingredients for this will be in the description as well. So the recipe of the cake remains the same for both. This is non-alcoholic and this is alcoholic. That's the only ingredient that's going to change for non-alcoholic recipe. Okay. Yeah, let's go over the list of ingredients now. We have brown sugar. I've used around a cup. We have some water. This is 1/3 cup. Melted butter, unsalted. I have here Sri Lankan jaggery. You can use any molasses or jaggery, or you can use white sugar as well for the caramel we need. For the cake. All right. We need some all-purpose flour, baking powder, baking soda, and a pinch of salt. And also, I've already added spices to. I've already added the required spices like cinnamon powder, nutmeg powder, ginger powder, clove powder to my fruits and nuts, soaked fruit and nuts. So also taken some cinnamon, some cloves and cardamom, and I'm going to just crush it fresh and add to the cake as well, just to give it that freshness of the spices. Just pound them very well. So when you see the description for the ingredients of soaking the dry fruits for Christmas cake, you will also see that I've added spices into it. Actually don't need this, but I like my cake to have those extra flavors. So yes, you can add a little bit of fresh spices. We are going to first make the caramel sauce because we need it to cool down completely before we start making our cake. So I have taken gur, in Hindi, it's gur, jaggery. I've used Sri Lankan jaggery because I like it's the plum jaggery, you know. So it's got a nice flavor. Instead of using white sugar or brown sugar, I'm using jaggery, just a little twist in my recipe. Okay. Now you add the jaggery to a pan which is already warm, around with a tablespoon of water. Now we are going to caramelize it a little, which just gives a nice caramelization flavor to the cake. Once the jaggery starts melting, I'm going to add a little more water to it. Make sure this does not burn. Just let it melt. It should not take too long. I'm adding a little more water to this. Add little by little, don't add the whole water. You see the jaggery is already starting to melt. And the color is so beautiful. It's really nice and golden and brown. Just what we need for the cake. Crush. You can cut it finely or grate it, then it makes the process faster. Okay. Adding this water so that the jaggery doesn't burn, basically doesn't stick to the pan. That makes it easier to do than the sugar caramel. And I think probably you can say it's healthier. Yeah, most of it. We don't want to make it a spring consistency or anything. We just want a very nice caramelly texture. Alright, my caramel sauce is ready. I'm going to take it out in the preheat your oven at 180 degrees. Alright, so let's start with the wet ingredients. We are going to first use the wet ingredients, the sugar, butter, and the eggs. Alright, if you're not going to use the eggs, and if you don't eat eggs, never mind. I'm going to show you how to make it without the eggs. You can use half a cup of condensed milk to make it eggless. That's about it. Okay, let's get started. Add brown sugar, add the butter. You can also use oil, vegetable oil or sunflower oil. Even that gives a very good result to this. Add the butter. Heat it up well. Now, I'm adding around 1 teaspoon. Some of it is already falling, so it's okay. Yeah, 1 teaspoon of vanilla essence. We'll beat this up. Not literally. Okay, I'm using a machine to do the beating. If you don't have this, hand mixer is also fine. If you don't have the hand mixer, you can use the whip. Whip it till it's nice and creamy, and then we're going to add the egg one by one. The eggs one at a time. For me, it's like one of the best meditation exercises that I can do. You know, it is, as I say, cooking is my cardio. Mental stimulation. So much of peace and so much of satisfaction, you know, at the end of the day, making something that you like, and baking especially, you know. Try it. Trust me, if you're scared of baking, give it a try. Let it fail. It's fine. Try and try till you succeed. Trust me, it's worth it. Absolutely worth it. Nobody gets it right the first time. So it's fine if you fail. Just make sure you're persistent and don't give up. Alright, I have changed the setting now because we're going to start adding the flour. So while this is getting done, let's add the wine. Right, the first cup of the flour. We need 2 cups so you can sieve it nicely. Just pass it through the sieve so we get more air incorporated into our cake. Okay, time for the second cup. Right, to this we're going to add 1 level teaspoon of soda, 1 and a little more. This I can say 1 1/2, it's fine. and 1.5 spoon of baking powder. Enjoy! Yes! Alright, I'm adding the flour little by little. Keep mixing it. Alright, this is the residue of this, the fruit and nuts that get soaked. So this is, we're going to add around 2 tablespoons of this rum to this. Yes, it's Christmas. Keep it very mixed. Just grease your baking tin. This is around 9-inch baking tin. Grease it up well. Use butter, you can use oil or ghee also. In fact, if you are making this with ghee, you can use ghee. Yeah. In some parts of Kerala, we use ghee. They use ghee for making this. These are the spices that we have crushed. Adding that as well. Oh, trust me, it's smelling heavenly. And now we are going to stop this now and make sure everything is mixed properly. Just use a spatula. Ensure everything is mixed beautifully. One cup here. But we are not going to mix it for too long. Okay? So just take this out. I'm adding a little bit of flour so that another cup. These beautiful fruits and nuts dipped in rum do not get soaked or do not get settled down. Actually, it won't because they're nicely swelled up, with the rum. But just a little bit, and that's why I've not done this with the entire quantity. Just added that. Okay, just mix it. Okay. We don't want to do it for too long. We just want to give it a nice mix. And we have to stop. This batter should not be too runny. Not too runny. Now add the rest of the plums. We have soaked it. Then we'll add flour. Rum and the spices, God, it's amazing. You know what? I'm going to add the rest of the rum to this as well. So we've added like 2.5 tablespoons of the rum to this. It's alright, it's Christmas. We're allowed. Pour it into your baking tray or baking dish. You can adjust the sugar level. If you are not using the cake and you're using the condensed milk, please make the sugar half because the natural sugar from the raisins, the cranberries, the dates. I've used a lot of dates in this. So the natural sugar from the raisins and all this dry fruits that comes into this is enough. Actually, you don't need so much of sugar. So you can make the quantity of sugar half if you're using the condensed milk. And because we're also adding the caramelized the caramel sauce, you know, the jaggery sauce, you actually don't need so much of sugar. The oven is preheated. We're going to place it in the center of the oven and bake it for 55 minutes, approximately almost 55 minutes. I'm going to have a look at the cake, pass our skewer and check if it comes out clean. Yes, it looks almost done. Okay, we'll wait for a few more minutes and then take it out. This is how it looks upside down, just to give you an idea.